1963, the world hadn't reached the Beatles yet. JFK was still alive. Cassette tapes hadn't even gone mainstream. But if you turned on the radio, something special was already happening. This was the year of surf guitars, teen heartbreak, and a few strange little records that somehow made it big. Some came from nowhere, some faded fast. But they all left a mark, whether you heard them once at a school dance or played them 20 times on a kitchen turntable. Today, we're revisiting some one-hit wonders from 1963, songs that reached the charts, touched a nerve, and never quite happened again. Sukiyaki by Q Sakamoto. It didn't sound like anything else on the radio. No English lyrics, no familiar voice, just a soft, soaring melody sung in Japanese. And a voice that carried sadness, even if you didn't understand a word. Sukiyaki climbed to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 in June 1963, the first Asian-language song to ever do so. And to this day, it's the only Japanese song to top the US charts. Here's something few know. Q Sakamoto died tragically in a 1985 plane crash, but this song remains a beautiful, haunting piece of music history. No translation needed. Sugar Shack by Jimmy Gilmer and the Fireballs.
Mighty good. That's not the reason why I've gotta get back up to that sugar.
If Sukiyaki was emotional, this one brought the bounce back.
Black leotards and her feet are bare.
Sugar Shack was a playful, foot-tapping hit with a catchy organ riff and a lyric that felt like something from a postcard. A guy dreaming about a coffee shop, a girl who works there, and maybe a simple life together someday. It reached #1 in October 1963 and stayed there for 5 weeks. You could picture it. A small-town diner, maybe a jukebox playing in the corner, a waitress pouring coffee, and a kid thinking she's the whole world. Here's a cool side note. The Fireballs were also the backing band for several posthumous Buddy Holly releases. Tell Him by the Exciters. This wasn't a love song. It was a wake-up call. Tell Him came out swinging. Big horns, fast rhythm, and Brenda Reed's voice right up front. It hit #4 on the charts in early 1963 and helped shape what girl group pop would sound like in the years to come. Less dreamy, more daring. It stood out because it didn't play shy. You could hear it on the radio and feel like someone just gave you permission to speak up. And here's a lasting ripple. When Dusty Springfield heard it in New York, she decided to leave her group and go solo. Pipeline by the Chantays. Pipeline wasn't just another surf rock instrumental. It had a darker, moodier tone. Built on reverb-heavy guitar, rolling drums, and a melody that felt like it was riding the edge of something bigger. It reached #4 in 1963, quickly became one of the most recognizable surf instrumentals of all time. Surfin' Hootanny by Al Casey mixed twangy guitar, surf drums, and a group of backing vocals. It was goofy, catchy, and surprisingly well played. It hit the top 40 in 1963. A Hootanny was a folk jam session. Surf rock was all electric edge. Put them together, and somehow it worked. Al Casey was no rookie. He'd already played guitar on hits for Duane Eddy and the Beach Boys. But this was his solo moment. Here's a fun fact. The female vocals in the background were done by the Blossoms, the same group that later helped launch Darlene Love's career. Martian Hop by the Randells. It sounded like it came from outer space, beeping effects and echoey vocals. The song hit No. 16 in 1963 and caught people off guard. It wasn't about love or heartbreak. It was about Martians throwing a party. Weirdly, it worked, and it showed just how wild and experimental early 60s pop could be. Rhythm of the Rain by the Cascades. This was one of those songs that crept in quietly. Just a few notes on a celesta, then that voice, telling a story of love lost and the rain that won't let it go. Rhythm of the Rain hit number 3 in early 1963 and became an instant slow dance classic. Simple lyrics, smooth harmony. Here's a cool detail. The lead singer, John Gummo, wrote the song during a storm while serving in the U.S. Navy, proving that sometimes the best lyrics come when you're stuck inside with nothing but your thoughts. Elwatusi by Ray Barretto brought Latin jazz straight into the pop charts, congas, brass, and a rhythm that didn't need translation. The song reached number 17 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1963, a rare feat for an Afro-Cuban instrumental at the time. Ray Barretto was already a respected percussionist, but this track gave him a crossover moment. Here's something interesting. Elwatusi was based on a dance craze that started in Chicago, but Barretto's version made it international. Dominique by the Singing Nun. A gentle voice, a single guitar, and French lyrics about a traveling saint. Not exactly your typical hit. But in 1963, Dominique reached number 1 in the US. And for a few weeks, a Belgian nun in full habit was topping the charts. Her real name was Janine Deckers, and she recorded the song in one take. The money went to her convent. She never kept a dime. Here's the surprise. Despite being a one-hit wonder, she outsold Elvis in some parts of Europe that year. I Wonder What She's Doing Tonight by Barry and the Tamerlanes.
I thought that I could do without her, thought that I could get along just fine.
It peaked at number 21 in 1963, and for many, it felt honest. A clean vocal, gentle backing harmonies, and a melody you could hum alone on a walk home. Barry Dvorak, who led the trio, went on to write major film and TV music later. But this was his pop moment, and even now, that title still lands. Because no matter how old you are, you never forget the first time you really wondered, what if? So Much in Love by the Times. Simple, romantic, timeless. This one opened with just voices. No instruments, no distractions. It reached number 1 in 1963 and became one of the most beloved slow dance songs of the decade. Here's a bonus note. The song was recorded in a single take, no overdubs. Just one moment caught perfectly and never repeated. Those were some one-hit wonders from 1963, songs that didn't stick around on the charts, but somehow stayed in people's memories. They came from all corners: Japan, Belgium, the Bronx, the beach, and for a moment, each of them found their way into the American soundscape. If one of them brought something back for you, a moment, a name, a place, drop it in the comments. And if you're enjoying the ride, hit subscribe. We'll see you next time for One Hit Wonders of 1964.